If you own a Meepo board or you're looking to buy a Meepo electric skateboard, you should watch this video before you do. This is a video I was really hoping I wasn't going to have to make, but here we are. I've owned my Meepo Voyager for almost a year now, and I have absolutely loved every single second of it, but then just a few days ago, it broke. So what I did was I reached out to Meepo to see if they could help me fix the problem. And the problem was this. I was riding it and everything was going just as normal, but then when I would plug it in to charge, it wasn't charging. So I could still use the board totally normally, but I just wasn't going to charge it at all. So I had like 30 miles of life before my board was totally dead. And so I reached out to Meepo and I asked them for some help. And I'm including the entire email chain because I want to be totally transparent and I want you guys to see what happened, just in case you also have a customer service experience with Meepo, because I think this sort of thing isn't acceptable. But let's get into what actually happened. So first, I reached out to Meepo customer support and I said, hey, my board stopped charging yesterday. The board still works totally as normal, but will not charge. When I plug it in, it says it's a full charge, but the remote says it's at 0 and the board will not go. So they replied, I got Danny, and he said to check these things. He said, is the light green? Please test the voltage, do these things. And then he had a video guide for reference. And the video guide was actually pretty helpful. So I went out, and because I didn't have a voltmeter, I went out and bought a voltmeter so I could go test this stuff. And so then I had a specific question about the testing. So I asked him that. He answered it. He said, could you please test the voltage of the charger and battery case? And in order to test the charger is super easy. You just put the voltmeter on the end, the plug of the charger. But to test the battery case, you have to take the battery off so you can get at the prongs. So it does require a good amount of disassembly. So I go in and I disassemble it. And here is where things get a bit tricky. I said the voltage of the charger is -50, which is exactly what they showed in the video. So that's great. But then here's what I found. This is where I have a problem. I said, after taking it apart, it appears the wire that connected the circuit board to the battery cells has somehow come loose. I connected that and everything seems to be working again. This is what I found, that basically the wire that connected the battery to the power plug via the logic board that it has had wiggled its way loose, because if you looked at the tape job, I didn't get a very good picture. They had put a little bit of like kind of electrical tape on there, but it had been a really poor job. And so over the course of, I think I'm at 800 miles or something like that, it had wiggled its way loose until the wires were just no longer connected. So all I ended up doing was connecting those wires and everything seemed to work. So this is like the perfect fix, right? You don't have to go buy a part. Everything is good and now it's working seemingly as usual. So I'm pumped. I send that to him just to make sure I didn't get anything wrong. And this is what he said. He said, thanks for getting in touch with us, blah, 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 blah. It was confirmed your battery was broken. At Meepo Board, we take pride in providing our customers with quality products and services. We want to clarify the warranty coverages for our board and parts. We offer a 6-month warranty, blah, 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 blah. Upon reviewing your case, we regret to inform you that your warranty period has already expired. Unfortunately, we cannot offer free replacements for your particular situation. However, we're committed to assisting our valued customer in every possible way. And so here's a link to the battery for my specific board. And as a goodwill, here's 20% off that battery. Now, that battery costs $400. So 20% off is nice, but that still sucks considering it's a 6-month warranty. And I think I'm on month 9. So it's a 9-month-old board, maybe 10-month-old, but not quite a year. And they're saying, bummer, here's a $400 replacement part you now have to buy for what was a $1,000 board. That sucks to hear. But the frustrating part, and why I think this is a really negative customer service experience, is that I don't even think he read what I wrote in the email right here, where I said, after taking it apart, it appears the wire that connected to the circuit board to the battery cells had somehow come loose. I connected it and everything seems to be working again. Now, upon making this video, this is a few days later, and now I've used the board a bunch and everything is working totally normally. There's nothing wrong with the battery. There's nothing that I can tell that's wrong with the board itself. Everything is working great. And yet, that being said, what the Meepo customer service had told me is, hey, you need to buy a new $400 part to fix it, because they didn't actually read what I had said as far as what I needed for customer service. This is crazy to me, and this is the reason why I cannot recommend Meepo boards anymore, even though I think the Voyager is my favorite skateboard and I absolutely love it. It is a fantastic product. but their customer service is just so bad. Like, I got really lucky in that when my board broke, it had just been 2 wires had come apart, and I just put them back together, wrapped some electrical tape, and called it a day. I didn't need a fix. But what customer service had told me, despite me going through all the lengths of taking it apart, getting a voltmeter, testing everything, they didn't actually pay attention to what I had said, and they just told me, go buy a new $400 part. That is a terrible customer service experience when what I actually needed was no new parts. I didn't need anything. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a huge L on Meepo's track record. Now, Meepo is known, at least in my understanding, to make good quality boards, except for their most budget boards, but generally speaking, good quality boards, but to have bad customer service. And I was hoping that wasn't the case. But now that I've gone through this, I totally agree with that. They make a fantastic product. The Voyager is a fantastic board, but I cannot trust their customer service. And how this makes me feel as a customer of Meepo is that the next time my board breaks, which it's gonna break, it's a skateboard, that's just what happens with electric skateboard, but the next time it breaks, I'm going to be stuck cruising forums to try and figure out whatever the problem is myself, because this does not instill confidence. He told me the wrong fix despite me giving the right information, or at least what I think is the right information. And so if you're looking into buying a Meepo electric skateboard, make sure you're comfortable doing repairs yourself, because if you're not, there's a good chance when your board breaks, and it will break because skateboards break, then you're gonna be stuck fixing it yourself, and Meepo is just gonna tell you to go buy a new part instead of actually doing the fix. So rant out of the way, let me just do a few disclaimers. The first disclaimer is that I have no relation with Meepo. They aren't seeing this video early. They obviously don't want me to make this video, but I have no relation with Meepo. And then the second part is I do have to give them a little bit of credit and a little bit of praise, because when it came to the actual reply times, they were really good. Like, they replied quickly. Let's just look at them. So on August 11th, I reached out, and on August 13th, they got me a message. And I will say on August 12th, I got an automated message that said, your message has been received, which is, kind of the standard thing. Then I replied on the 14th. He replied on, was that the 15th? Yeah, he replied on the 15th. Then I replied, then he replied. So I got 2 in a day. So as far as replying speed, that's fantastic. That's as good as you get. If you're getting 2 replies for customer service in a day, that's really great. But as far as replying accuracy, obviously this is gonna get a pretty big loss for me. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is that Meepo makes a fantastic quality product, but man, their customer service needs work. And I will say I have to deduct at least 1 point from the quality of their product, considering I didn't get good footage of the wiring, but if you saw how it was wrapped, it's no surprise that it came undone. But that's something that, like, someone could have spent an extra 5 or 10 seconds wrapping those wires together, and that would have never happened, and I wouldn't have had this problem. I understand there's a lot of different things that go into quality, but that's just one part. All right, if you have any questions about my experience or anything about electric skateboarding, let me know in the comment section below. I read all of the comments, and I reply to almost all of the comments, so I'll be able to get back to you. We're gonna leave things there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.